We're about to watch a film that has the disconcerting distinction of having been received positively when it premiered in France in 1959 by both the Catholic and the communist press. It was praised warmly by François Truffaut and was apparently among Andrei Tarkovsky's favourite films. Nazarín was included on the 1995 Vatican list of notable films in the religion section, that despite Buñuel's famous riposte to the film's positive reception among Catholic viewers, gracias a Dios, todavía soy ateo. Thank God, I'm still an atheist. Despite the early and later approval of some Catholic viewers, the film was still censored when it was screened in Franco's Spain. Buñuel wrote to one of his compatriots there to ask whether the sequence featuring the smiling Christ had made it into the version shown in Spanish cinemas, and it hadn't. The film was made on a modest budget in 1958 in a 5-week shoot in the Mexican city of Cuautla. Buñuel's director of cinematography, Gabriel Figueroa, reportedly revealed that the trick to working with the Spanish director was to point the camera at a majestic landscape with magnificent clouds and extraordinary flowers, and then, just before you turn on the camera, you spin it round, turn your back on all that beauty, and film a road covered in rough stones and a bare rock. Buñuel's film is his first cinematic adaptation of a novel by the great 19th century Spanish novelist Benito Pérez Galdós. That novel is among the handful of his novels available in English translation as an Oxford World's Classic, translated by the wonderful scholar Joe Labagny. The original novel was published in 1895 and came at a time in Galdós' career when he was increasingly preoccupied by the question of Christian spirituality. His main character, Don Nazario, or Nazarín, is a hybrid of the quixotically inspired hero determined to live out his ideals and Jesus Christ. Galdós is clearly interested to explore the humility with which Jesus chose to present himself to the world, born in a stable, an ascetic, someone who made friends of the people at the fringes of society, who was humiliated, tortured, and put to death for his efforts. Galdós seems to be asking about that kind of messianism, or what that kind of messianism would look like in contemporary Spain. What kind of place could it find, if any? The ambivalent response to those questions found in the original novel is arguably Buñuel's biggest departure from the source text. He seems to have a firmer sense of where he stands on the efficacy or inefficacy of Christian doctrine. Things you might like to look out for include the fact that Buñuel has chosen to transpose the action to the dictatorship of Porfirio Díaz in Mexico in the final decades of the 19th century and the first decade of the 20th. You might ask yourselves what that transposition allows him to explore. Likewise, the fact that Nazarín here is explicitly a Spaniard inserted into Mexican society lends the film an interesting lens, not least in its representation of syncretism. The film makes insistent use of background noise, not least the moos and grunts of farm animals. What are they doing there? Watch out for the film's striking representation of female hysteria. And finally, what on earth are we supposed to make of the final sequence? Thank you very much and enjoy.